Hello there, this is my CS50P final project, which is a resume keyword analyzer. For this, I'd like to just go over a simple slideshow to demonstrate my project, to get a little rough idea of how it kind of works. And then afterwards, I'd like to go into a demonstration. Okay, so to the right here is actually a screenshot of the resume keyword analyzer. This is the GUI here. As you can see at the top here, you can actually insert a description. And then the bottom, this box here, you can actually insert your resume. And so once you've inserted your job description and then your resume, so say for example, you put in your job description here, it will actually calculate the keywords of the job description. And then you insert a resume, it will get the keywords for the resume. And what it does is it calculates both and sees where there's matches for the keywords in the job description and there's matches for the resume. And then it's not shown here yet in this screenshot, but it will actually calculate the ratio of keywords of the job description to the resume. Some of the libraries I used was Custom to Kinter. Custom to Kinter was used so I can actually make this GUI, or the graphical user interface here, so that the user could actually like click on the buttons like calculate, select a file, or select a resume. Some other libraries I use was NLTK, which is the Natural Language Toolkit. This is for processing. This is actually responsible for the bulk of my application. It's for processing a text, keywords and stop words. Keywords are things like Python, JavaScript, jQuery, and stop words might be things like the, they, she, he, them, and, but. Words that really complete a sentence, but they don't really full point across. They're just not very. There's not as important of words. And then I also use Pickle. Pickle is used for saving and allowing the use of already uploaded resumes into a text file. This is very useful for the user so that they don't have to always copy and paste their resume into this second square box over here. They can simply select a resume as they've already done before. They use through the select a file feature, and it just simply speeds up the process that much more. Now here's an overview of the app usage. Here's how you'd calculate the keyword ratio. So you might put the job description in that first text box that you've seen in the picture before. The user adds a job description, and once they do that, they will have a choice of either adding their resume, or they can actually select from already previously saved resume. The user clicks calculate button, and once they've done that, the application calculates the keyword ratio of the resume to the job description. So for example, maybe it calculates like 54% of the words in the job description to the keywords in your resume. And you want to try to get something, at least from our research, around 30 to about 60% a ratio, because if you have below 30%, you might not be qualified, or possibly you haven't written a good enough resume. Maybe you want to look at the keywords you're using. And if you have around 60%, maybe 70%, or especially more than that, that would be considered something like keyword stuffing. And that's exactly what you think it is. It's simply stuffing in keywords into the resume to pass ATS checks, or applicant tracking system checks. This is software that's used by many corporations to determine whether a resume even gets looked at by humans, because it's simply checking for keywords. And now here's the overview of the app usage for calculating keywords. So maybe you don't want to actually get the ratio of keywords from your resume to the job description, and instead you just want to get the keywords of the job description itself. And this might be useful if you're looking to a niche or a certain kind of job, and you want to figure out even what are the correct keywords to even put in your resume to begin with. So this is great for when you're still working on your resume. So you might want to put a job description you find into the second text box that you've seen. So now you're actually going to skip the resume text box. So user adds a job description, then they click on the job description's keyword, and once they've done that in the application, they will actually see the keyword. So maybe you put in Python, JavaScript, and React. And that means without really reading the job description that much, you'll realize that maybe you should put Python, JavaScript, and React somewhere into your resume, especially if it pops up very often within the job description. And so I'd like to show you my resume keyword analyzer application. So right here, see these two boxes. The first box up here in the top right, is the job description box. So obviously you want to insert your job description, and then the second box, you want to insert your resume. So for this first one, you need to make sure you get rid of the placeholder text. And then over here, you see on the left, I actually have a job description. So here's a job description for a high school math teacher. And then I have in the bottom here, the bottom left, I have 3 resumes. These are 3 mock resumes and a mock job description. So the resumes, I have a poor resume, so this one should have a low keyword count. Then I have a keyword stuffing resume, which should have lots of keywords. And then, of course, a good resume, which should be a balance in between the two. A resume that a human would actually want to read and not just meant to get through ATS testing or checks. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste the job description. Okay, and then once I do that, I'm going to copy and paste the resume. Okay, and oops, see, I made a mistake here. I need to get rid of the resume here job placeholder. So what I'll do is put in the input, the resume here, and then I'll hit calculate. Okay, so it's giving me a keyword percentage of about 24.2%. That's a little bit lower than 30%, not really in our targeted goal. So it seems like we need to actually increase our keywords, but it does tell us some helpful information such as our matched keywords like CO, professional, degree, communication, job, experience, bachelor, and etc. And so we can actually maybe look at those and kind of use our brain here to figure out maybe we should include some of these into our resume. And it kind of gives you a little tips on how to improve your resume. Okay, before I put in the next resume, let's just look and test out the program a little bit more. What happens if I just hit calculate? Okay, so it's telling me invalid input. Paste the job description and paste the resume. So I didn't comply with the program. It wants me to put in the job description resume. Okay, I can halfway comply. And I'll put in the job description and hit calculate. And, well, rightfully so, it says paste the resume. Okay, so let me paste in a resume. Let me get the keyword stuffing resume. Okay, and then I calculate. Hey, well, it still doesn't work. Okay, so I didn't put in the job description. Oh, okay. Let me get it right this time. So I'm going to put in the job description here. And then instead of this time of doing the keyword stuffing, let's use a feature here. Let's select a file. And then we will go to our directory where we have our resumes. And let's use the keyword stuffing resume. And see, wow, that's really cool. Like it just, as you see from the bottom left here, and then you look here in the input resume box here, it's actually the same resume. Okay, and now I can hit calculate. And okay, so I've got a few more keyword matches. So it's not quite, I guess, keyword stuffing, but there are at least the percentages, but there's definitely much more keywords. And so again, it tells me some tips that I should do to improve my resume. And so one last thing I want to demonstrate here is that I want to show you how you can actually put in a resume without actually having to select a file. So what I actually have to do here is close the resume analyzer. And here real quick, I'm just going to open up the resume analyzer again and let it open. Okay, so now it's open. And once it's been open, it will remember files that it opened in the past. And see, bam, we've got keyword stuffing resume here. Click on it, and now I got my keyword stuffing resume here. And that's really cool. That's really nice, so you don't have to always copy and paste. So let's move forward with a good resume. Okay, let's put in a good resume here, and then put in our job description. And I made a mistake here. Make sure we get rid of our job description placeholder. So there we go. We've got a job description here, and we've got an input resume. Let's calculate. And wow, we've actually got a really good keyword ratio here, 54.78%. And it even says the ratio of keywords to words in using my resume compared to the job description is excellent. But it does tell me that some words might be overused. So sometimes if some words in relation to other words, if it calculates maybe like 3 or 4 times more than other words that are then repeated, it will simply tell you. So like math, CO, students, algebra, teach, math, student. Okay. I have been overused maybe a little bit, but you kind of have to use your own discretion here because it is a math job, and the word math will be used quite a bit, and that's the word algebra. So it kind of just gives you an idea whether or not you should use those words. And then maybe you're still looking for a job. Maybe not create your resume quite yet, and you want to even know what the keywords in general are. So for example, let's just say this is a new job here, and we don't have a resume. So let's just put the job right here. And then let's, instead of calculate, let's do job description keywords. And okay, so now maybe not in the most legible format here, and that could be a actual future update, but it does tell you some of the key words here, such as high school. Let's see here, role, master, so like maybe like a master degree, mathematics, education, extra, trigonometry, algebra, geometry. So these are words that you might want to include in your resume when you build it. And okay, well, that is my resume keyword analyzer. And finally, I just want to tell you thank you so much for listening to my CS50P final project. I just want to say thank you so much for having this course. It just completely baffles me the amount of information that is for free from world class leaders and professors. And this is information and education that's offered to people no matter where they're at in life, no matter their financial situation, any hardships, or status or anything. Like anybody, as long as you just take initiative and you take advantage of this, that you can actually do this course completely for free, even from the comfort of your own home. And that's just something that shouldn't be taken lightly. And I'm just really grateful and appreciative of it. So thank you so much for your time. And I hope you have a wonderful day.